name is Dr. Johnathan Walker with Ocala Integrative Medicine, and I want to talk a little bit about why I choose the types of foods that I do for myself and my family and why I recommend them to my patients. The major theme when I talk to all of my patients when it comes to food choices is not whether they're going to lose weight or gain weight, or because if someone needs to lose weight, they already know they need to lose weight. That's not a surprise. The issue that I address as a physician, primarily one who sees neck pain, back pain, a lot of musculoskeletal problems, is inflammation. And so inflammation comes in large part from our diet and the food choices that we make. And the problem with the average American diet is that we eat a diet that's heavily skewed towards increasing or promoting inflammation. And pro-inflammatory foods primarily are grains and grain-fed meats and processed foods. So the average American diet, even the food pyramid diet that's supposed to be the ideal standard, contains a lot of pro-inflammatory foods. And we can see the results of this type of lifestyle because our nation's full of people with a lot of chronic diseases, in large part because of inflammation. We know that inflammation in an acute sense, like when you sprain an ankle, is a good thing. It helps with the healing process. Chronic low-level inflammation is what happens when we have too many omega-6 fats. Those are found in the types of foods that we talked about earlier, the grains, processed foods, and grain-fed meats, and not enough omega-3s. Omega-3s are primarily found in meats that were raised on grass or eating other animals, like a fish that eats a smaller fish that ate a smaller fish, etc. And then healthy fruits and vegetables. Those are sources of omega-3 fats. Primarily, however, in grass-fed meats and meat that eats other sources of animal protein. And so as an American population, we eat far too many 6s and not enough 3s. So we have an imbalance in these fats, and it creates a lot of inflammation, which leads to a lot of the chronic problems that we experience as a society. So by far, the most important thing that I teach my patients when it comes to food is that they have to choose anti-inflammatory foods. These are foods that will naturally help them hurt less, help them heal faster, and function better overall, because it's the foods that our bodies are designed to eat. And so one of the most important sources of anti-inflammatory foods is the meats that you eat. Because we all know we're supposed to eat fruits and vegetables, and the amount of fats in any fruit or vegetable is pretty negligible. So if we need to eat more omega-3 fats, it has to come from the animal protein sources that we eat. By far and away, the most predominant animal protein sources of omega-3s are cold water fish, which most people are familiar with, tuna fish and salmon and things like that. And second to that is grass-fed beef and bison. And the average person that's eating meat that comes from a grocery store, even if it's the quote-unquote organic, lean, healthy meat, is still eating meat that was raised pumped full of grain. So even if it's not filled with all kinds of hormones and steroids and antibiotics and all of these things that I think now most people realize are probably not particularly healthy to have in our diet, even if the cow was raised in the absence of those things, best case scenario, it's still fed grain, and it's still a delivery system for these fats that will increase inflammation, leading to chronic pain, arthritis, heart disease, cancer, all of these chronic problems we experience as a society. And so a very effective way to get these omega-3 fats is by eating cattle that were raised, eating the food that cows are designed to eat, which is grass. And so grass-fed beef is an excellent source of not only omega-3 fats, but also an excellent source of protein, iron, a lot of the other healthy nutrients that a lot of folks are fairly deficient in. This is something that to every single one of my patients that comes into my office, we have a handout that teaches them about healthy anti-inflammatory foods, and we also give them some resources for grass-fed beef. And the nice thing about Ocala is that we actually have a great local source for grass-fed beef in Florida Fresh Beef Company. And not only do they have grass-fed beef, they also have what I call the gourmet grass-fed beef, because they rotate the cows around on a lot of different types of foliage and things that they can eat. We've kind of gotten to be connoisseurs in my family because we've had grass-fed beef from all over the country and a lot of different farms. And you can definitely, my wife is the one cooking it, so she can definitely tell the difference as she's cooking it in the meat from Florida Fresh Beef Company versus some of the other farms that we've used in different parts of the country. So it's something that I believe in strongly enough that I tell all of my patients about it, and it's something for my own family. I have a daughter that's almost 2 years old, and the only meat that she eats, the only beef that we'll give her is grass-fed beef, because I'm not going to feed her the stuff that comes from the grocery store with not only all of the chemicals and antibiotics and hormones, but I know that it's grain-fed, and so we're kind of trying to start her off on the right foot in life, so to speak. So all we give her and all I eat in my family is grass-fed beef.